We are nearing the halfway point of the Sochi Winter Games. Another day wrapped up in Russia. And here's a look at the medal count. Norway and the U.S. top the total medal count with 13 each. The Netherlands and Russia are just one behind, followed by Canada and Germany. For a full wrap-up of today's events and a preview of tomorrow's Russia-USA hockey match, here's RT's Paul Scott in Sochi.
Well, America's men's curling team won one and lost one on day 7. They secured an 8-5 victory over Germany, but followed it up with a 7-6 defeat to Russia. Meanwhile, the women's team went down 9-2 to Denmark. That's a defeat which keeps them rooted to the bottom of the table and all but ends their chances of progression to the semi-finals. Meanwhile, America's men's team are in the final of the 5,000-metre short track speed skating. That's despite finishing 4th in qualifying. Now, the reason for that is that there was a collision with the South Korean team. America actually finished 4th, but in this certain situation, it's at the referee's discretion to decide who was at fault for the collision. Now, he decided that it was the South Korean team's fault, and therefore America progressed to the next round in rather intriguing, unusual and nerve-wracking circumstances. Elsewhere, the excitement is building ahead of Saturday's showdown between the USA and Russia in the ice hockey. Of course, the two old, fierce rivals go head-to-head in their second group match on Saturday afternoon, local time here in Sochi. Both teams ensured and enjoyed comfortable victories in the opening fixture. Russia beat Slovenia 5-2, whilst the USA were 7-1 victors against Slovakia. And these US stars that RT spoke to said they're expecting a tough challenge against the host nation.
You know how tough that game's going to be against Russia on their home turf and their own soil. So it's going to be I think all the games will be fun, but that game Saturday night will be pretty interesting.
It's always fun playing the Russians, and probably the one thing, we had the opportunity to play Canada in Canada, and I think that's always a special thing, regardless of if you have an opportunity to play the host country. That's always a fun game to be a part of. It's one of those, there's so much excitement and energy in the building, and we were lucky enough to do it in Canada, and now we get a chance to play Russia in Russia, which I think is always special.
You read a lot about a lot of things before you come over, and you're not really sure what to expect. And you know, everything's been great so far, whether it's been the food or the accommodations or the rooms or the village. The ice rink seems to be unbelievable. Just looking at it from the outside and then going in and practicing on it. So. I'm sure a lot of it's blown out of proportion, but as far as, the 2 days we've been here, everything's been great so far.
That was a report from RT's Paul Scott.